Thanks for joining another episode here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel, The Catch Up. We're always catching up with Cris Cyborg. Cris, how are you this afternoon?
I'm great. Just coming back from the training, and I'm very excited to see. No way am I going to make the next fight, and people's going to know soon.
Yes, we're very excited about that news. But before we get into today's episode, as always, we got to thank all the people who tuned into last week's episode. A lot of really good feedback. If you guys are liking the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go hit that bell and make sure you're going to get all of the video updates, not only this show, but Cris is putting content out every week, so you don't want to miss any of that. But let's get into it, Cris. We had the Bellator card on Friday night, Bellator 244, and we have a new light heavyweight champion, Vadim Nemkov, getting the TKO victory over Ryan Bader. Just first off, your reaction to that performance, because I think Vadim really put everyone on notice at 205.
You know, Nemkov did an amazing job, amazing fight, very violent fight, and everybody's surprised about the fight. But, you know, I think Ryan Bader is the best, under the best in the division, and Nemkov came ready, to get the great fight.
Yeah, and one of the things I love about Bellator is they do such a good job of building up new talent. I mean, I don't think, most fans knew about Nemkov heading in, but obviously they know him now with such a big victory. But there was a bit of controversy. Some people felt like that fight should have been stopped a little bit sooner. When you're watching that fight, did you feel like the referee should have come in a little bit sooner and stopped that one?
I believe the referee did a great job. He gave it the opportunity for Ryan move the time is a difficult time. Sometimes in the fight you're gonna have difficult time, but if you see Ryan start moving, try getting better position, I think the referee knows how important that fight, and he's gonna let it go a little bit, but I think he did an amazing job. Yeah,
can't argue that. Some really great points there, as you said. And then after the fight, everyone was talking about Scott Coker, what he said, and he didn't hold back. He said, "Look, we have the best light heavyweight fighters in the world. This is something you and I have talked about with the women's featherweight division." What did you think of him saying that? You must have felt pretty proud, and not just that, but I think he has a point with John Jones out of the picture in the UFC.
No, everybody knows John Jones is an amazing athlete. He's the best in the world. He does everything, but he's without the belt and fighting. I think UFC, Bellator has the best division. Have Nemkov, have Lyoto Machida, a few days, and they're gonna be the great fights. I believe that. And John Jones is knowing the area for now, and for sure we have the best lightweights.
And also, Corey Anderson's going to be in the mix now. So there's a lot of exciting things happening at 205 pounds. I'm very interested to see what happens next. Now, of course, in the co-main event, I know you were paying attention to that one. Julia Budd getting the win, rebounding from her loss to you, getting that win over Jessy Miele. What did you think of Julia's performance? I thought she looked really good in there, especially, coming off that fight with you.
No, very good win for Julia. After she's long time in defeating champion, very good win. And I'm happy, you see Bellator invest their division. You see the real 145 fight each other. This just make me happy, see the girls fighting in featherweight division.
And they put on a great show, which is always something to expect with the women's featherweights there as well. Now, I got to ask, just because, you fought Julia last, was that the type of performance where you think she needs maybe a fight or two to get the rematch? Or you think that's enough to get the rematch of your upcoming fight, which I'm assuming is not going to be against Julia?
Julia, if she's still ready, she'd like to be rematch. I'm here just for if it's Scott Coker Chris, you have to fight. You're gonna fight next to Julia Budd, and she's feel ready. She's deserved. She's 18 years undefeated, and she fight me, and she did an amazing performance. If it's Scott Coker Chris, whatever he said to me, I'm gonna be ready and fight.
Yes, love it. I mean, you'll fight anyone, but good to hear words from the champ there about Julia Budd, and we're going to see what is next for Julia after that big win. Sticking with the featherweight division, we have some news finally with the UFC. Amanda Nunes is going to be defending her title against Megan Anderson coming up in December. You fought Nunes. You were supposed to fight Anderson years ago. What do you think of that fight put together? Because I think it's a really interesting matchup because Megan's got really good stand up.
I believe both have good stand-up. You can see fight Megan Anderson, she fight Holly Holm, and you see she's have a hard time to defend takedowns, from Holly Holm. I believe Amanda Nunes have the tools. She's going to try maybe take down Megan Anderson. And it's tough fight for Megan Anderson, and a great fight this division. I think the last girls 145 pounds to fight Amanda Nunes. But for me getting excited to fight these featherweight divisions, I would like to see Amanda Nunes and rematch me. this is going to be the exciting fight.
Yes, everyone wants to see that fight. I mean, it's it's just such a. I mean, you guys are the best at what you do, so there's obviously some intrigue there. But you talked a bit about it there with Nunes and the style matchup. I mean, we know the weakness with Anderson, where she's been submitted a few times in her career. Do you think Nunes will try and go that route, or do you think she'll try and maybe out of a pride thing say, hey, look, let's stand and trade and see who the better striker is? Do you think Nunes will take this to the ground?
I think she's have jiu-jitsu, she's have strike. I think she's gonna find a way to win the fight easy. I think she's gonna feel the fight and see how it's gonna work. I wish Megan can win that fight because it's the last fight in her contract. I hope she's training really hard for this opportunity and doing her best. And the mistake she did in the last fight, she can fix, and do better this fight.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. So you kind of said it there. I think your early pick for this fight is Amanda Nunes in this one, I'm assuming.
I believe if Amanda be her day, for sure, I think she's gonna win. If Megan, they have amazing plan, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I don't know, but I'm gonna get excited for our rematch. I think Amanda Nunes is her last fight there, 145 pounds, and if she wanna still fight 145, because these are. I know the night, Chris, back to go to Bellator for easy fights. No, if you see, I went to Bellator because there I have my old division. I don't have to wait 6 or 9 months or fight one time per year for have a fight. I can fight all the time because I have all divisions. And now you can see this. Amanda is going to have her last fight, 145, just if UFC sign more girls.
And I got to ask you this, how often do you get fans asking to see that rematch? Because I think that's one of the fights that, unfortunately right now, we don't know if that's going to happen. And, nothing against Megan Anderson, because like I said, I think it's an interesting style matchup with Amanda Nunes. But how often do you get fans saying, we want to see that rematch? Because I think it's the biggest fight you could put on right now in women's MMA.
I hear a lot. I hear the smart fans, because the smart fans understand what's going on between me and UFC. Some fans say, you run just to say what, like a parrot, just to say what they might say.
Right.
And then some people know about, you can see the division grow. You see what's my struggle over there. But a lot of fans want to do this rematch. A lot of fans stop me, say, Chris, I want to see fight Amanda Nunes again. I think everyone wanted to see this fight. And I think the best promoter going to this fight happen because it's what people want to watch.
I completely agree on that. Some other stuff that came away from that UFC card. Dana White, I'm sure you saw this in the presser. They asked him about Patricio Pitbull Freire, and he said he didn't know who he was. I find that a little interesting because, the week before, Dana's talking about Michael Chandler, who Pitbull beat last year. So it's a little bit interesting that Dana's saying he didn't know who he was. Of course, the double champion in Bellator at lightweight and featherweight. What was your reaction to that? I thought that was kind of funny.
When I watched that thing, it made me laugh because we know the night to know who's Patricio Pitbull. We know he beat Michael Chandler in 1 minute. To finish that fight. For sure, he knows who it is, and he just don't want to give the credit, for the fighters from Bellator. But if you think about, Scott Cook, he's finding good fighters. When is the Strikeforce? If you don't be from Strikeforce, we don't know who's the Diaz brothers, who don't know who's Ronda Rousey. I started Strikeforce too, and had a lot of fighters. DC came from Strikeforce, Scott Cook did an amazing job over there. And if you think about, he don't want to give the credit that Bellator have great fighters, like the Strikeforce have a great fight. But if you think about when these fighters from Strikeforce signed with UFC, they became champion. They became big stars. And I just don't want to give the credit, but people really know fights, really know watch all the fighters, know Bellator have the amazing team, amazing fighters there.
Yeah, and you brought up a great point. A lot of those fighters that came over from Strikeforce, yourself included, went on to win titles. Luke Rockhold, you had DC. I mean, the list goes on. It was a huge, acquisition for the UFC when they got those fighters as well. So it kind of brought up an interesting debate because we talked there about Scott Coker talking about having the best light heavyweight. So there was that chart that ESPN put together. I think it was ESPN or I forget who it was, but showing, the Bellator champions and the UFC champions. So I'm going to ask you, how do you think a Patricio Pitbull would do against, say, a Khabib or Volkanovski? Because I see a lot of people saying the UFC would win all those fights. I disagree. I think there's some matchups that are pretty close in there, and I think Pitbull is someone that people have overlooked his entire career, and here's a guy who's a double champion.
Pitbull, I think for a fight Khabib, I think he's a little smaller for 155. But you can see his beat to Michael Chandler in 1 minute. And then I believe he can beat Volkanovski. I think he can do great this fight. And he's double champion. And he's doing an amazing job and doing amazing fights.
I completely agree. As we're about to switch gears here, I just want to remind everyone, again, hit that subscribe button if you can. Any feedback, please let us know in the comments. We're always looking to improve the show, make it better, make it more fan-friendly. But, every week, this is a lot of fun with what Chris and I get to do here. But like I mentioned, if you guys aren't following Cris Cyborg, not only on her Instagram account, not only on her Twitter account, but the Cyborg Zoo account as well, there's always a lot of cool stuff going on. And I saw on the weekend you had your dog in the pool with you. It's a cool photo. I'm an animal lover myself, so I really like seeing that. Tell us a little bit about your dog and the fact that he seems like a pretty good swimmer.
I have Fedor. His name is Fedor Emelianenko. I was big fans of Fedor, and they put the name into him. I have him too, his puppy, and we have a great story together. Before, when I'm divorced, my husband, we live together a little bit in the car. A lot of times, nice times and the hard times in my career, in my life, he's with me. He's a very special dog. I love animals, and all the animals we have at the house, we have one fighter name. And we just got the last time the parrot, the name is Chelsoni. We always have some animals, different names.
Does Fedor know that you have a dog named after him? Because I think he must feel honored to have that. That's pretty cool.
Funny, when I saw the one interview about him, I put his name Fedor. And then when I see one interview long time, Fedor said, girls supposed to be in the kitchens. And I said,
right. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but when I see this interview, I say, I cannot believe. But he did amazing. I like watch his fights and his style, and he's a great fighter. Even though he's thinking about the girls have to be in the chickens, but the kitchen, but I think he's a great fighter.
No, I know what you mean. And obviously people sort of change and evolve and things like that. So, that's something to keep in mind as well, too. Okay, so we got to get to one of my favorite parts of our catch-up each week, the Portuguese phrase of the week. So last week, we were doing, how can you buy something? And then it was, where can you go to the bathroom? This week, we're going to do, where are you from? Because, if I go to Brazil, I'm probably going to meet some people. I want to know where they're from, where they're living in Brazil. I got to know all these things. So how do I say, where are you from? And then we'll start there, and then we'll do, are you around from here? But let's start first with, where are you from? How do you say that?
You say, de onde você é?
De onde você?
Você
Você.
É.
Você.
É.
De onde você?
Você é.
Okay, I think I got it there.
Another one?
Yes, the other one was, are you from around here? That's what it is.
Você nasceu aqui perto, você é daqui de perto, você...
Ok, você que de perto
é
daqui
de perto.
De perto.
De perto.
Sim.
Yeah.
Okay, close. We're getting there. Baby steps, as they say. Like I said, after we do these, I always go back and watch them and try and practice myself. So eventually I'll get it, but it's good reference to have.
The most important thing you try.
Yes.
I'm living 10 years in America, and I still all the time do mistake like kitchen, chicken, swipe. It's a lot of things, but you have to practice. Have to have practice, and I really enjoy the time and teach you. It's very nice.
No, it's fun, and your English isn't... people forget that you didn't speak any English when you came to the U.S., so the fact that we're even having a conversation, it just shows, how much that's improved. So good on you. Always love hearing that. Before we wrap things up, again, check out the Instagram account at Cris Cyborg. I saw that you had your meal delivery, your weekly delivery, all ready meals. It looks delicious. I know it's nice not to have to prep food every week. You can have someone that does it for you. So what did you have this week? What's on the lunch menu? And I'm assuming some dinner in there too.
I love always wedding meals, because when you're in camp, it's very difficult time to cook, very difficult for go grocery, and the time you have to rest is nice to rest. And for me, it's nice when Sunday then deliver the food, and we do like it's a little food, because I'm be on diet for cut weight, but usually it's vegetables, chicken, but my favorite is orange chicken. But they have vegetables, and they have chickens, have turkey, it's fish. It's very good meals. Please, guys, check it out. it's always ready meals.
That's great. Now, do you eat the meals without any like seasoning or anything? Do you just have it as is, or do you like to put some hot sauce on there or anything like that?
No, tastes amazing. Tastes amazing. I don't have to put salt or anything. It's
Excellent.
Really good. Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
And you know, we've talked about this before, but like it's such like not a stress to have to worry about that, right? Like if you have your meals already made, you're not having to think after practice, oh, I got to go to the grocery store and pick up all the stuff. Like I don't think people realize how much of a convenience it is having that, because it's just one less thing you have to worry about, right?
And then if you think about, if you have the food ready in your house, you're not gonna buy a fast food.
Right. Yeah.
So it's bad. It's nice you start Sunday, you do everything for a whole week, and you separate some snacks, everything, and then it's easy for you to be on diet, because sometimes you're very hungry and you go grocery, you want to buy everything.
Right, and then you're not thinking properly because you're hungry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you never can go grocery when you're hungry. And then if you're hungry, finish the train, you can go get a fast food, but the easy way, you know. But you have to take care and care for your healthy and be healthy every day.
Yeah, and you just feel so awful when you have fast food after. I know, it's always a regret. Whenever I have McDonald's or something, after I get home, I'm like, why did I do that? It should have just taken the extra time to make something or get a salad or something like that. So I agree with you there. I do have to ask you one more thing before we get out of here, because you just piqued my interest. What if you are going to have fast food? I don't know if you ever eat fast food, but if you did, what would you get? I'm curious.
You know, sometimes I don't like pizza. I don't like pasta, but I eat some, but I know it's not my favorite. I like French fries. French fries,
we all do. No issues there. Yeah.
I like chicken wings.
Oh, excellent! I loved hot chicken wings are like my favorite. I love that.
Yeah, this is my favorite. If we're gonna do something, I prefer chicken wings than fast food.
There you go. Well, Cris, as always, great catching up with you this week. Like I said to our audience, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Give us a like. Let us know what you think. We're always trying to make the show better for you guys. In the meantime, Cris, if you got anyone you want to thank or plug or anything like that, I'll give you the last word.
Hey, guys, thank you for being with us. You know, we enjoyed the time to do this. And thank you, James, for being patient with me. I'm learning every day. And, guys, thank you. It's very nice feedback. You can send some question for us, what you guys want to talk about. It's very nice. Give us some advice to us. I'm here for learning. And, you know, I'm training. I'm excited for the next fight. And please follow me, my Instagram, my Twitter, everywhere. And make sure, text me. And for sure, I'm going to answer it soon I have time. And thank you guys for all the love.